Hello and welcome to today's mathematics class. In today's class, we are going to solve this Olympiad math problem together. So this is an algebraic equation, okay? So if you can see, the question looks very difficult, but there is a way we are going to solve this problem without giving out stress, okay? We are going to use a substitution method to solve this problem. Before we do that, if today is your first time of coming across this page, please do well by hitting the follow button and also share this post so that we can reach out to a greater number of students on this platform. Don't forget also to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Physics and Mathematics Lovers. Okay, now let us look at this, what we have in the brackets. We have this, then we have this. We are going to look for a way to substitute into this bracket so that we can be able to reduce the workload. And how do we do that? Before we do it, we are going to first of all simplify this expression in a way that we can use substitution. So let us look at what is in the bracket. Okay, let's simplify the first bracket. So we have x squared minus x minus 10 all over 10x. So let us rearrange the numerator so that we can have x squared minus 10, then take x to the other side. We have x now all over 10. So what we are going to do, let us separate, we have 10x here. Let's separate the numerator. Let's group it into 2 so that we can have x squared minus 10, then all over 10x, then minus x all over 10x. Now we can cancel out this. So this one will now be simplified to become x squared minus 10 all over 10x, then minus 1 over 10. So we have simplified this. So let's keep this one. We're going to be making use of this one later. Okay. Now, let's go to the second bracket where we have x squared plus x minus 10. So we have x squared plus x minus 10 all over 10x. Now let us also do the same thing to this so that we can have x squared minus 10. Then we have all over 10x plus x all over 10x. So we can also cancel out the s. Then this one will also be simplified to, this is plus x here, sorry. So this will also be simplified now to x squared minus 10 all over 10x, then plus 1 all over 10. So this one is another one which we have simplified. The next thing now is for us to use a substitution. Let's substitute for 10, this first term here, which is x squared minus 10 over 10x. So let us use any alphabet of your choice. Okay, we can use A, we can use B, we can even use Y. So we can say let A equal to x squared minus 10 all over 10x. So what we are going to do, in place of x squared minus 10 over 10x, we are going to replace it with A. So from the both expressions. So the first term of the bracket is this one here. So here we're going to have A, here will become A, then minus 1 over 10. So which means we now have A minus 1 over 10. So the original expression become A minus 1 over 10. Then remember we have square in that first bracket. Then what is the next one? Plus. The next one was simplified to x squared minus 10 over 10x plus 1 over 10. So which means here we have A plus 1 over 10 all squared. Then let us equate it to what do we have there? 1 over 10. 1 over 10. So we have 1 over 10. So what we are going to do now is to open the brackets. So we are going to open the bracket here. You simplify. So here is a square. We're having a minus 1 over 10. Then multiplying a minus 1 over 10. Then plus this other one will have a plus 1 over 10. Then also a plus 1 over 10 equal to 1 over 10. Now let us open the bracket. A times a is a squared. So when you open the bracket at the end of the day, what you are going to have, let's not waste time. We are going to have here, it's going to be 2a, going to be minus 2a over 10. Okay, then plus 1 over 10, because minus 1 over 10 times minus 1 over 10 will give you 1 over 100. Okay, now that is for the first bracket. That's for the first bracket. Then well, let us move to the second bracket. The same thing. The only difference will just be the plus. So we're going to give us a square plus 2 over 10, then plus 1 over 100 equal to 1 over 10. Now let us simplify. So if you open the brackets, so this 2a, this one will take care of this. Okay, then we will now have this 1 over 100 plus 1 over 100. 1 over 100 plus 1 over 100 is equal to 2 over 100. So we are going to use that now. So let's go. So it will now become a squared plus a squared, that's 2a squared, then plus 2 over 100 now equal to 1 over 10. So that is what we have there. Isolate. If you like, we can cross multiply. No, we can multiply both sides by 100, or you simply isolate. So it will now imply that 2a squared equal to 1 over 10 minus 2 over 100. So we can have 2a squared equal to, the LCM there is 100. We have 10 minus 2. That will now give us equal to 8 over 100. We can reduce this one to become, let's say, 4 here. That's 2 over 25. 4 here, 2, 4 here, 25. So we can have 2a squared equal to 2 over 25. Now remember that we're having 2 here. We're going to divide both sides by 2. And in doing so, it will now imply that what? 2a squared over 2 equal to 2 over 25 times 1 over 2. So division. So it means it's a fraction. You're going to multiply. Then this one takes care of this. 2 cancel this 2. So that we can have a squared equal to 1 over 25. Now let's solve for a. So to imply that a is equal to plus or minus the root of 1 over 25. So your final answer for a is equal to plus or minus 1 over 5. So that is for a. Now let us go and solve for x. I'm going to be having two cases here. Case 1, we have a equal to positive 1 over 5. So we are going to substitute this into that expression. Remember that we said that a equal to x minus what? Let's go. Okay, x squared minus 10 all over 10x. We have a equal to what? X squared minus 10 all over 10x. So let us put the value for a into this equation. So it will now imply that 1 over 5 equal to x squared minus 10 all over 10x. So we can multiply both sides by 10x, or you cross multiply. If you cross multiply, we're going to have x squared minus 10, then multiplying by 5 becomes equal to 10x. So we can divide both sides by 5 now. Divide both sides by 5 to reduce the work so that we don't multiply. Divide both sides by 5. We can cancel out this. Then 5 cancel this, gives us 2. So we have x squared minus 10 then equal to 2x. So here we can form a quadratic equation here, so that we'll remove this 2x to the left. We have x squared minus 2x then minus 10 equal to 0. Now let us solve for this equation quadratically. Now, there is no way we can factorize this. We are going to make use of a quadratic formula. We say that our x equal to minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So now know that in this equation, we're having a here. A is equal to 1, the coefficient of x squared. Then b equal to negative 2. Then c is equal to negative 10. Now let us plug everything into the formula. So we can have x equal to minus 2 here, that's minus b. Then we have a minus outside, so this minus outside will be here. Then plus or minus the roots of b squared, that is minus 2, all squared minus 4 into a is 1, then c is minus 10. So all over 2 times 1. Now, at the end of the day, this negative, we multiply that negative, it will give us x equal to 2 plus or minus the root of 2 square. Negative 2 square is 4. Then minus this minus will turn this minus becomes plus. That will now give us plus 40. Now all over 2. So this will now give us 2 plus or minus the root of 44, then all over 2. Now let us get the value. Let us express 44 in terms of its factors. We have x becomes 2 plus or minus. Inside 44, we have 4 times 11. So we become 4 times 11, then all over 2. So which will now give us equal to 2 plus or minus 2 root 11 all over 2. So factor out the 2 so that we can now have 2 here. We have 1 plus root 11 all over 2. So we cancel out. So we now have remember this is plus or minus. So the first value of x now, so x will now give us 1 plus or minus the square root of 11. So this is the first value, plus or minus first value for x, plus or minus root 11. That is 1 plus or minus the square root of 11. So this first value here, it means we're having two values, positive and negative. Now let us go to case 2. Case 2 is where we have a case 2, where we have a equal to minus 1 over 5. And remember that we said our x, we say that a equal to x squared minus 10 all over 10x. Now let us plug this one for a. We're having negative 1 over 5 equal to x squared minus 10 all over 10x. So therefore we cross multiply. When you cross multiply, it will now imply that x squared minus 10, then multiplying by 5 equal to negative 10x. So the same thing, divide both sides by 5. Divide both sides by 5. So this one will cancel out. This leaves us with a negative 2x. So here it becomes x squared minus 10 then equal to minus 2x. Now let us rearrange so we can solve quadratically. So it will imply that x squared plus 2x minus 10 equal to 0. Here, we still want to solve quadratically because we cannot factorize. We still have to make use of the quadratic formula. So we have x equal to minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Here, your a equal to 1, b equal to 2, that is positive, then c equal to negative 10. Now let's plug it into the formula. X becomes equal to negative 2. We have negative 2 plus or minus the root of b, that is 2 squared, minus 4 into what? 1 into minus 10. Then all over 2 times 1. So here we now have minus 2 plus or minus the root of the same thing that happened becomes 4 plus 40 all over 2. So we have x equal to minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 44 all over 2. Just simplify it the way we did in the first case. So to now have, we are going to have minus 2 plus or minus 2 root 11, then all over 2. Now, let us bring out the common factor there. So we can have x equal to 2 will be outside. We have 2 here. Then we have a negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 11 all over 2. So we'll cancel out so that will remain minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 11. So this is the second value we have for x. So x here equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of 11. So if you want to have a numerical value, you can find the root and get your answer. So in that case, it means we have 4 real solutions for x. So there are 4 values for x. The first one, we have x. So x, the 2 values we have, which are 4, we have x equal to 1 plus root 11. Then we have 1 minus root 11. Then the other one we have minus 1 plus root 11. Then minus 1 minus the root of 11. So these are the possible values of x. I hope you understood this Olympiad maths. If that is true, please help us to share this post so we can reach out to a greater number of students on this platform. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Physics and Mathematics Lovers. Bye.